Hi guys, and welcome to day 15 and 16 of my 40-day water fast. Yesterday I didn't vlog because I was feeling a wee bit tired and I lacked a sort of motivation yesterday, so that's why I didn't do my vlog, so sorry about that guys. Anyway, I had a question yesterday about ketosis on a juice fast, and will the salt water flush speed up fat loss on a juice fast, and hence moving the body into ketosis on a juice fast. Now, number one, the saltwater flush will cleanse the intestines and the colon, hence speeding up detox that bit quicker, especially if you're coming off sort of solids. It does help remove all the waste and the toxins lying inside the intestines and the colon. Number two is the body never goes into ketosis on a juice fast, and the reason for this is you get all the vital nutrients through juice fasting, so the body won't go into ketosis on a juice fast. The only time the body goes into ketosis is on a water fast, and that's on day 3 when the body uses up all its sugars. So I hope that answers your question. Anyway, moving on from there, now I says to you guys, I'll tell you a few stories. Now this story relates to fasting, and this story is prophetic dreams through fasting and prayer. Now this happened to me it was about 3 years ago. I was going to church, local church, and I become really good friends with the pastor, who really inspired me a lot in life. I was going through a bad time, and he helped me. The most amazing guy that I'd ever met. And so I would go around we got really close, and we'd go around for lunches and dinners, and I met his family. I was close to his family, and they had been married for 18 years. And what I've seen of his family, they were really happy, and there was nothing there to suggest any sort of problems in his family. They were all stable guys, and had a great life, And so when I was on the fast, I would go into sort of deep prayer, basically sort of interceding for the people who are ill through the church and sort of other places. And so as I was sort of fasting and more deeper, I got into my fast. As you guys know about dreams in your fasting, water fasting, they become more sort of vivid. And so one of my dreams was really sort of vivid, and it stayed with me for quite a while. It was the same dream sort of every night, and I couldn't really understand it. And the dream was that I'd watch my pastor's wife walk into an office crying, and him sort of following her. And so I couldn't understand. But the second part of the dream was the church would be divided in two, and that was the second part. And the third part was a death through the actual church. So this dream kept reoccurring, and it got deeper and deeper and more vivid and vivid. So the pastor came down to have a chat at my house with a cup of tea and so forth, and I sort of brought up this reoccurring dream, and I sort of told her, I says, look, this dream keeps reoccurring, and it's about you and your wife and the church. And I explained what the dream was, and I told them, look, I'd seen your wife walking in the office, and she was crying, and you following her. And it says, look, the other part of the dream was the church would be split in two, and the final part was a death. And it was also real. I don't want to go into sort of too much details about sort of the dream, but that was okay. And when he looked at me, and I sort of looked at him, and he basically sort of changed the subject. So I was thinking, it's a bit strange, So as the weeks followed, I was still sort of having the same dreams, and going to church. I think it was about 6 months later. We were sitting in church, and the pastor stood up and he said his sermon. And then at the end of the sermon, he says, "Look, guys," he says, "I've got some news for you. We're going to be closing the church." And I thought, ooh, strange, you know. Yeah, here's me dreaming about this sort of 6 months earlier, and he's going to be closing the church. So I'm thinking, okay. He says the part of the sort of the last session of the church is going to be the following Sunday. So I appreciate you guys. So I came along and I'll do a special sermon for you guys, which he did. So we went along to the final service, and that all went well. So I was a few tears. So he was a brilliant guy, you know. He inspired me a lot. And so the church ended, and so he still kept in contact, and he came down to my house with a tea and started speaking, and he came up with the sort of the big thing, one of the biggest part of the dreams. He says, "Look, me and my wife are splitting up," and I'm thinking, wow, you know, that was the sort of second part of the dream, and I thought maybe he knew that all this all along, but as far as I knew, what I saw, his family were a perfect family, you know. So I couldn't understand why he was actually splitting up with his wife, and which was really, 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 really strange. So that was the second part of the dream actually came through. Now he actually knew what I told him months and months ago, months and months previous. So he knew what I'd said. He never once sort of brought it up, you know. And I told him quite a few times about the dream and so forth. So the following few months, I got the news that one of my friends at the church had passed away, and he was a really good friend. We'd been up to sort of Westray and so forth, and holidays with the sort of church and that, and he was a heroin addict. I won't mention any names or so forth, and he had passed away. That was the sort of the third part of the dream that actually came through. And I thought, oh, what's going on here? You know, I mean, I've seen these things in my dream, and it actually came through. You know, I was sort of fasting, and I thought it was really, really, really strange. And so, obviously, you guys, if it experiences dreams and sort of really vivid dreams, and so that's basically a third story. And it's still sort of sort of scares me today that I had these the prophetic dream that I actually had, that I'd seen this happening months before, and obviously my pastor had probably known before that, and I was actually telling him, and I didn't know anything, you know. As far as I knew, this family was all, you know, it was a perfect family, and I'd beaten the lunches and dinners with them, and just a really perfect barbecues, you know. It was just a perfect family, and all this to come sort of through was it really sort of scared me. But there was one other thing that was really sort of freaky, but I'll leave that for the sort of the next sort of a little story, just to break off the sort of monotony of the fasting. But anyway, guys, that is one of my other true stories, prophetic dreams through fasting. So if any of you guys have had the same sort of stories, then please feel free to share with me, leave a comment. But anyway, it's day 16 now, and still in high spirits. I'm still happy enough, you know. I don't like to be sort of morbidly depressed and I'm all this and I'm bad, you know. You've got to keep your spirits up, you've got to keep happy, you've got to keep chirpy, you know. But I'll leave it there for sort of day 16, and I'll see you guys on day 17, and I'll leave you guys a vlog on that. But I mean, if any of you guys want to talk to me or get any advice for your fasting journey, it's www.fasting.ws, and my name there is Keith101, and you can talk to me there. if you like any support. It's all totally free, as I said in my previous blogs. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed me sharing my stories. A little bit of a change on YouTube and fasting. But I shall talk to you guys tomorrow, and you guys take care. God bless.